Oh, Sheol. What is most people, what is it that most people fear? Okay. Well, that's a big question, okay? Alright? Okay. Well, let's just start with just a few and you can just fill in the blanks, okay? Alright, most people fear losing their jobs. Most people are fear of starving to death. Most people are afraid of drowning, or most people are afraid of insects, or any kind of insect. Afraid of snakes, afraid of storms. They're afraid of earthquakes. They're afraid of nuclear bombs. They're afraid of dying, and there's just many things they're afraid of, and a lot of times they're afraid of facing their own selves. That's why most people will try to be somebody they're not, because they don't like their own selves. They're afraid to face their own selves because it's somebody they don't like, and they're afraid of that, and they want to be somebody else. And there's all kinds of stuff, for fears and phobias and things. I want to read something to you. Okay, this is in Isaiah. I've read this before, but I'll read it again. Okay, chapter 24, verse 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. In case you don't know, this is a prophecy about the last days. Alright, go down to verse 3. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken his word. Down to verse 19. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is removed exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth, upon the earth. If you read that whole chapter, it's very fascinating. You really need to read it. Okay, now a lot of people, the reason why they don't like somebody telling about judgment, what happens to those who are lost, well, they label people who do such as fearmongers. Yeah, there are fearmongers, but I'm not talking. But the Bible speaks of judgment, and these people, though, that what it is they're afraid to face these realities. They don't want to hear it. They want to be like the people were in the prophet Jeremiah's day, and some of the other prophets as well, where the people said, no, we don't want to hear this. Just be good things to us, They don't want to face the fact that judgment is coming, okay? You can't change it. No one can change it. It's coming. Okay, and here, I was reading about the things that are happening, that will be happening in the last days. And there's more things you can read in Revelations and in Matthew chapter 24, and you can also read in the book of Daniel and things. Alright, but see what? They're missing the point here. They're missing the big picture. Why are you afraid? Because your heart's not right. Why does most people are afraid of something that, is because they're afraid of judgment. Alright, fear has to do with judgment, okay? And these people don't realize if their hearts were set right, there would be no fear. Because God's love is not a fear. But see, the thing is, God does give you a choice. And He gives you warnings. And when you tell somebody they're fixing if they don't not watching what they're doing, they're going to trip and fall in a big manhole and break their neck, or they're not careful, they're going to run out in front of a car, and get hit. Well, if that's judging, if that's fear mongering, then by warning people, then let us be fear mongers, if that's what it is. But see, only people who are afraid of the unknown or what's beyond, because they're uncertain of their own security that they have within their own souls. They're not secure. They don't know what's going to happen, and a lot of them have a suspicion of what's going to happen, and they're afraid. They don't want to think about it today. They want to put it off and put it off. I've been there. So haven't a lot of you been there. And that's what they're doing, and they're putting it off and putting off. And if you're one of those that keep putting off, understand, no one's is trying to condemn you because we love judgment on you, and we don't, because we've been in your place where you at. We'd been where we didn't believe, and where we didn't care about hearing about the bad things and all this. But these are realities that must be faced. We live in a terrible world, an evil world. So the question is, if you're afraid, there is no need to be afraid, because there is an answer. It's Jesus Christ. If you will turn to Him, it's simple. You would have no fear. You would understand why a Christian rejoices over these things. Not because we like seeing death or destruction. So no, it's because it means He's coming. See, because with Him, it's life everlasting. But if you haven't given your heart to Him, you should be afraid, because it ain't going to be pleasant for you. That's like if there's a plague outside, right? And, and there's two lines over here. There's a line for people who can get a shot that could save them from the plague. And people's warning you, but you don't listen, so you're just going over to the crowd who ignores and shivers and frightened because they're afraid of the plague, but they won't go over here and get the shot that will save their lives. Well, whose fault is it? It's not God's or anyone else's fault. It's your own. Well, same here. You're adding that fear to your own self, feeding it upon yourself. And the devil's sitting there tricking you and lying to you. But Jesus Christ is the answer. Yeshua HaMashiach. That's what they call Him in the Hebrew. And some of them kind of pronounce it a little different, just like we pronunciate different words and stuff differently from different parts, whether you're from the south, from the west, north or northeast, or east coast or whatever. We all pronounce things differently. But anyway, Jesus is the answer, all right? If you repent, give Him your whole heart, everything, all over to Him. Simple solution. And talk to Him just as you would your best friend, and tell Him how sorry you are for everything you've done. Let Him know your heart and mind, what you're thinking and feeling. Tell Him. And if you do it with an honest heart, you'll feel everything lift from you. And ask Him to fill you with His Spirit, and He will fill you. Okay, you believe in that. Okay, and be baptized. Read the scriptures, okay? Read Acts 2:38 on down to the end of the chapter. Actually, read the whole chapter. The whole book of Acts. Read the whole book of it. But also read John chapter 3. The whole chapter. Read it, okay? All right, but I implore you to read the whole Bible. But start with the New Testament and then work into the Old Testament as a suggestion, okay? But you need Jesus. He loves you. He don't want you to die. Read Ezekiel chapter 33. He loves you. So find peace and hope in your heart. Don't have fear to dominate your life, because Jesus is not fear. He is life and hope. And you need hope. I hope. So I hope that's helped. And if you're a Christian and having trouble and start slide out, hey, the Lord is your hope. He's your Redeemer. Hey, the Lord didn't leave you. You was leaving the Lord. You're the one starting to slip. Hey, you need to, quit looking at people and get your heart right. Pray. Repent. And He'll forgive you. And just dust yourself off. Don't waller in self-pity and letting the devil keep you down. Get up. Rise up. And live for Jesus. Okay, I hope that's helped. I love you all. Shalom, and I hope to see you there when He comes. Ha-ho!